Right, guys, so it is the day after Open qualifying. It's Tuesday, the 21st of June. And we've got some news. Just in case you didn't see any of it on social media yesterday, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, or on Snapchat, yesterday was Open qualifying at Fairhaven. I played at 12:56. And that was the last minute of any hope that was left in my heart.
That's when the world was still a sunny, happy place, children laughing, lovers holding hands.
Yes.
And golf was enjoyable.
It was enjoyable. It was enjoyable. So, if you've not quite got the gist or didn't see it on social media, it did not go to plan yesterday, would be the best way of explaining it. It didn't go to plan at all. It didn't go to plan at all. I can make every excuse under the sun, and believe me, I have over the last 24 hours. It was about this time, 24 hours ago,
You've been quite creative with the excuses, I have to say. It's been one of the most incredible
we should have filmed. If we filmed every excuse, this is like the 20th attempt we've tried to film this video. No, in all seriousness, there was no excuses. I didn't play anywhere near the level that I know I can play yesterday. If you don't know the score, I shot an 82, which is hard for me to say on video to thousands of people around the world. I shot an 82, which was a 10 over par. It was 10 shots off qualifying, which is bad. It's real bad. The reasons I would put that down to was lack of experience of playing in front of people of that magnitude. So I open it out. It's my own fault, and this is why we do YouTube. Open it out for people to come and watch, and probably about 50 people turned up, which was just amazing.
It was fantastic. I mean, turn out people from Isle of Man coming down
amazing.
From New York. So many kind of people coming down, and it was a very interesting and kind of brilliant sight. Actually, kind of when Rick kind of teed off on the first, actually hitting the shot, and there was a lot of people gathered around the clubhouse, and we were looking behind and thinking, well, how many people there?
There was only one more group left after us.
So because we didn't know if they were just sitting around after the round because Rick was one of the last tee-offs or just having a drink or whatever. So I started wandering down the first, look round, and there's just like an absolute procession of people getting up and standing up and following down. It was brilliant.
There was a sea of golfers. If you've seen any clips, hopefully you have done on either Pete's vlog that he did yesterday or Snapchat or Instagram, Twitter that we had Mason Page doing for me yesterday. He did a great job. It was quite astonishing, and I walked off the first tee after hitting a nice first tee shot. I was nervous. Before teeing off, there was lots of people that came up to me wishing me luck, lots of people saying, I'm here to follow you. Spoke to people from the Isle of Man and spoke to people from near Brighton. The guy came up from near Brighton. I mean, it's crazy to think. And please don't ever think that I wasn't grateful. I was massively grateful for everyone that came and watched. I really was. And I really wanted to show you a good display of performance. I really wanted to put my best out there. And loads of people before the round came up to me, wished me luck, shook my hand, said, "Love what you've done on the quest for the Open." It was a boost, as well as another kind of layer of pressure. But that was fine. I understood that, and understood there was going to be a pressure attached to all of this scenario, situation that we put ourselves in. It was only after I hit the first tee shot. Okay, I misjudged it and knocked it in the bunker actually, and I started walking down the fairway, and I looked back behind me, I was like, oh God. It was the 50 people. I actually had time on one tee to count everyone. There was 50 people. And started off poorly, hit it in the bunker, had to wedge it out, had 212 yards left into a par 5, hit 5 iron, very nervy, block / fadey, horrible thing into some trees on the right. The grass was long, as you can imagine, it's Open qualifying. 50 people, we couldn't find the golf ball. So I had to do the walk of shame all the way back to where I hit the last shot from. I hit a 5 iron to the front edge of the green, 2-putted, came off with 7 on a par 5. So I double bogeyed the first, and that really set the tone. It shouldn't have done, and I was really trying not for it to do, but it really kind of put me on a little bit of ouch. 10 months of work and practice. I know I've not done loads, but playing in tournaments and everything else, I was like, ouch, that hurt.
Yeah, it was noticeable. I kind of, obviously, if you've seen the video, walked around and followed the whole kind of procession of people as well, and it was certainly noticeable from my point of view. Obviously, I haven't played a lot of golf with Rick, and you guys obviously watching his videos. For the full 18 holes, I hardly heard you kind of say a word.
No.
And you could see that you were really, really nervous.
And I was trying not to be. I was really trying to do all the things that I know I can do, like walk with confidence. And I was trying to be chatty to Rob and Mason, and I don't think I even spoke to you all the way around. I was trying to get myself out of it, but I couldn't help but think of everything going on externally. And that is a big learning curve for me. Mm-hmm. Not only for the people that was watching there present, again, that was fine. I understood that. I kind of, after a few holes, got used to it a little bit more. But I think telling people on YouTube and telling people publicly, domain, that this was happening. And you might have noticed over the last week, I've probably been a little bit quieter on YouTube, because it was almost getting to the point where I was like, I wish I hadn't told everyone. It kind of got to that point, and that was something that I need to overcome. It was something that I need to live from. And in fairness, we'll come to a summary in a minute, but it felt like it was, if I went out today with the same 50 people watching and thousands of people around the world, I would perform better. If it happened the day after, I would do better and better. And I would play to the golf that I know I can play to. Yesterday, it was more about eliminating terrible mistakes as opposed to trying to actually capitalize on opportunities. There was loads of times where I was almost just trying to go, just hit a nice shot. It wasn't as if I was trying to attack it. Doubled the first, bogeyed the second, then I made a string of pars up to the eighth, made a silly knot, didn't get up and down on the eighth, which was a pain, made a good chance on 9 for birdie, so I was 4 over through 9. And all things considering, that was okay. All things considering, the way I was feeling, I kind of got through that 9 like, it's actually okay.
I'd say considering the actual start that you had,
it
could have, after those first 2 holes,
it could have really gone the wrong way.
Yeah, it could have gone the wrong way. And if it had gone that way after a couple of holes, it could have slid downhill super fast. Because all those pressures just would have kind of multiplied.
Yeah.
And you actually managed to, I thought you managed to steady the ship really, really well, and you hold some great par putts.
Yeah, I did.
Some
To be
really
fairness,
good
I did hold some really good putts. So I got to the 9th, and I think a few more people joined the crowd, which was fine. I kind of semi got used to it at that stage. The best way to explain it to everyone, it felt like first tee nerves on every shot. So every shot felt like first tee nerves, and I'm sure I know
everyone can relate to that. I think
everybody watching will relate to first tee nerves, and I don't care who you are or what level of golf you play. Everybody encounters first tee nerves, but after the first tee, we forget about them, and normally that is the case. And even playing in local events, me over the last 10 months, I'm sure for you, Pete, everyone just gets that little bit of butterflies, and it can sometimes, excitement can be portrayed as first tee nerves. Mm-hmm. And that's what it was a little bit yesterday. But it was that for all 82 shots. And that was weird. That felt really strange for me. I never, ever felt quite comfortable. Anyway, through 9, 4 over, I hear from the crowds, and one of the guys came up to me saying, listen, level par, 1 over, is getting in. Then it kind of just changed my mindset a little bit. And during the back 9, as much as my score didn't actually reflect it, I attacked more. I actually gave myself more chances of making birdies. I didn't quite put it in the right spot on occasions, and therefore made mistakes. Made a silly double after a 3-putt, big slinging putt, and misjudged it. Made a few pars, didn't make a birdie, which was a real shame, because I really wanted to make birdies. I wanted to give... And again, maybe this was in my mindset. I wanted to give the people watching something to actually cheer about. They've come a long way to see me par and bogey. And it was a shame that. So I was really trying to make birdies, therefore maybe slipped into a few more mistakes. And then kind of continued all the way through and shot 6 over the back 9, 4 over the front 9, 10 over. But I kind of walked off in a weird sense of like, it was like relief. I was glad to that extent, when it got to that point, I was kind of glad the round was over. And it gave me a taste of something that I actually, weirdly, people might not relate, actually enjoyed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's such a different... I think the thing from yesterday, which was so different to kind of stuff we've been doing throughout the years. Yesterday, obviously, there was a lot more importance on it. There was a lot more kind of people watching, but the actual build up to it, I mean, it was a year's worth of saying this is what we're going to do. So that's a lot. It is a lot of pressure. A hell of a lot of pressure.
And I think that is what it kind of boiled down to, is the fact that it was the snowball effect. And this has been snowballing for 10 months and getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it then came to the crunch. It's one round of golf, and it came to that crunch. Now, many people on social media went, is this too big an ask? Is this something that's too big? It's a wild shot anyway. Bearing in mind, out of the 100 people that competed at Fairhaven, only 6 got through to final qualifying. That's not a lot of people. From that point then, I think only 2 or 3 get through. The chances are minute, but we've got to give ourselves an opportunity to at least compete. And that's kind of what we did.
Yeah, absolutely. And with, just to kind of come back to the whole kind of pressure thing as well, which is certainly something I was thinking about kind of yesterday with Rick as well. I mean, obviously, this pressure is something that, if I would have played, and obviously Rick found out, that we've brought upon ourselves. This isn't like a crazy revelation that we suddenly kind of came up with. But I think what we need to do, certainly kind of going forward, and certainly something we need to think about, is how we actually just deal with that kind of pressure. Because rather than turn it into something which is kind of debilitating when you're on the course, actually feeding off it and going on. That's what the best players in the world do.
And in fairness, I absolutely, and I speak for me, I'm repeating this, I think we can get to a position where we do thrive on that. Yesterday wasn't a good example of that, but it was the first time.
Totally new.
It was honestly, I've played in front of people before, and a lot of you might go, well, God, look at the view counter. This has got tens of thousands of views, but that's different. Right now, talking to this camera,
there's no one behind it.
It's me, Pete, a camera. If there was tens of thousands of people behind, do you think I'd be quite as this relaxed or this? I'd be like, but the more you do it, the more you get practice. Look back at our first ever YouTube videos. If you look back at our first ever YouTube videos, you will see a very different Rick and Pete. A totally different. In fact, you're probably not going to find my first ever videos because they're all deleted.
Straight after this is recorded.
But that's the case. From that point, it's a very nervy, even though there's only a camera, the situation hasn't changed. But now, because we've been doing it for so long, I hit my 1,000th video just last week. 1,000th ever upload onto YouTube. And over that time, I'd like to think my confidence on camera has become better and things like that. If I played 1,000 rounds of golf in front of 50 people, I wouldn't feel pressure. No. It'd feel normal. It'd feel like, well, give me 100 people, give me 2,000. And I don't think, if there was 100 people watching, I don't think I would have felt any different. If there was 1,000 people watching, I don't think it would have made any difference.
No.
I think once you go past maybe 10 people, that's when the difference is then just the same.
Yeah, I think it's the same situation, just with more eyes.
Yeah, I couldn't have got any more nervous.
Well, we'll see.
But that is something I'm happy to admit. I'm happy to admit that yesterday, that what really hampered me, I didn't play my golf that I know I can play, and I'm not saying that I'm a tour player and I can shoot under par. I think the last month or so, six weeks or so, my game has been on a slight downfall, and I've been trying to pick it back up, but struggled. Then quantifying that with the end event, it just crumbled under that. But that is a learning curve that I'm happy to accept. I'm happy to move on from. And I've learned a lot from it. I'm upbeat. I'm positive about what the future brings and what happens to Quest for the Open 2017. Video coming very soon. We're not going to stop. We're going to continue our journey on development and educating not only ourselves and our development of the game, but you guys, the watchers. That's why we're doing it. We're doing this on YouTube because we love sharing our journey and the fact that we've started this crazy idea on what can only be described as a walk down the 18th at St Andrews. This is where this idea came from. Last year at St Andrews,
possibly might have been in a bar by the 18th at St Andrews, but nonetheless, the proximity of the idea is very similar. Yeah, jig is in, I think.
We said, let's do it. Let's try and qualify for the Open. Hey, How hard can it be? I'm joking, I didn't ever say that.
I think that was 2 hours after the jiggering, I think.
That's where it came from. And since that, I know loads of you followed our journey, followed the events that we've played in, followed highs and lows and injuries and me pulling my hair out once. I'm sure I've gone grey and bald since, or I have. You go back to the first video that we did Quest for the Open, I had much more hair.
We were so much happier, so much fresh face, weren't we? It was the days when we were carefree. Now there's so much weight on our shoulders.
It's bloody hard. Hey, golf is bloody hard at the best of times, but then to mix it in with actually trying to qualify for a major event, we've got to put this into perspective. It is huge. So, it's been a ride, it's been a journey. Hopefully people watching have learned something from this idea. And regarding the quest, this is our quest. This was our quest for the Open. But hopefully lots of you watching have created your own quests.
I mean, it's been one of the very best things about this as well. Because obviously, yes, the end goal, the big goal, was qualifying for the Open. But certainly a lot of the other kind of things that we've got out of this is certainly a better idea of our own game. Certainly a better idea of what we probably need to do kind of going into next year. Because even though I didn't play, I can learn off what Rick's experience, because I'm sure I would have been exactly the same when I was out there. So it's that case of learning from kind of what we've done this year, and like Rick said, hopefully giving other people a little bit of inspiration. We've had so many kind of tweets and messages about this.
I mean, unbelievable amounts.
It's nice to think that us doing this can inspire other people to do their own quests and their own journeys. It's great.
Guys, do us a favour, because this will massively pick us up as well. Comment below if you've actually started your own quest or your own journey to improve. And it doesn't matter how big or small, whether it's just to make your first par or to actually win the club championship. Comment below with what is your quest or your goal or your journey, because that really does help us kind of fuel off your enthusiasm and motivation to get us to get better. On a side note, this has made us much better golf coaches, and I mean this. This journey has made us much better golf coaches because we understand again the difficulty of actually playing golf.
Yeah, it was one of the things that we first learned from this year, especially after the first kind of 4 or 5 events that we kind of started playing in again when we'd not been playing for so long. That feeling of frustration of not being able to hit the shots that we wanted to, of hitting the bad shots, and actually. That's something when we were coaching at kind of Trafford, when we were just literally coaching all week, no time for playing, something we maybe lost the connection with.
100% lost the connection.
We didn't understand.
I forgot what it was like to hold a scorecard.
Yeah, understand the frustration, understand the pressures. So it certainly made us a lot better from that standpoint, and refocused our minds a lot on how we coach as well. So it's been brilliant from that kind of perspective.
And hopefully our students has massively benefited from that as well. The idea that it's performance-based. This sport, this love that we have for golf, comes down to the performance of the individual to get that golf ball in the hole under whatever circumstance it takes in the least amount of shots. And that's something that we're going to continue to develop and learn from. Again, moving into 2016/17, we're going to get better at performing, and because of that, educate everyone watching as well how to perform better as golfers, which is exciting. Guys, hopefully you've enjoyed the ride. We really do. Really do hope you have, because as much as the fact that we stood there and shot an 82 and unfortunately had to pull out because of injury,
0. I'd have definitely qualified with that score,
We did enjoy. We really did enjoy it. We really did. And again, unfortunately, on this occasion, right now, we are sat here as non-qualifiers. It doesn't deter us from actually put us off from actually giving it a go next year, and not just giving it a go, but doing it better and better every single time that we learn how to play this game in less shots.
Hopefully, in some shots.
Hashtag quest to break 80. So that's not the next. That's not the next.
Next goal. That's the next goal.
We're gonna just start a little bit higher next time. We're not going to set the benchmark too ambitious. So, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel with myself, with Pete, and Quest. Believe me, we are going to bring more content to Quest. We've got now a couple more videos to come. We've got 2 Q&A videos, one to go on Pete's, one to come on mine, because we've had thousands and we want to answer as many as possible. And we've also got a video on Pete's channel coming next about what our journey is next. How do we develop this? What we've taken on Quest of the Quest for the Open this year into Quest for the Open 2.0.
Bigger and better.
It's an updated. It's like an updated app. We're just going to get better and better.
Less bugs.
Yeah, much less bugs. Much less. Much less bad stuff.
Won't crash as much. Won't turn your phone off.
Guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Lots more to come, and we'll see you soon.